The film opens in a Trieste hotel as Roxanne directs her team remotely from outside. Inside, her operatives move silently. Nick, posing with a female companion as cover. An arrest prepare to seize rogue CIA agent Derek Mitchell, who's stolen a hard drive listing undercover operatives. The team converges on room 620. Positioned outside, they await Roxanne's go ahead while London watches live. At her cue, they burst in, subdue Mitchell, and secure the briefcase. Everything looks clean. Tom monitors via CCTV, relieved. As they head for extraction, their van detonates. Chaos erupts. Roxanne orders a rear exit. The team bolts toward it, but a sniper is already laid in wait. Shots ring out. One by one, the operatives fall. Only Nick and Derek stagger to a bridge, then are hit. Both are struck down, and Nick plunges into the water. A black van pulls up. A man grabs the briefcase and drives off. Roxanne watches her team wiped out, stunned and lost. The scene shifts to Mike, a construction worker who spent the night with Nicole, his former seventh grade English teacher. He returns to his modest home with his mother and a simple life of work and weekend friends. At a bar, Roxanne suddenly appears. They lock eyes. Once close at school, he loved her. She left without explanation. They catch up. She suggests visiting their old meeting spot. He happily agrees. Riding together, Mike grows emotional and hugs her. Roxanne injects him. He blacks out and tumbles down a slope. Two men arrive and bundle him into a body bag. Mike awakens in London, baffled. Roxanne explains she brought him there. Panicked, he worries about his job. Roxanne's boss Tom arrives, offers breakfast and an SUV, and explains the Union, an off the book CIA division. Roxanne shows Derek's photo and recounts the mission. They captured the spy, but were ambushed and nearly wiped out. At Union headquarters in the BT Tower, she points out Juliet, nicknamed the auctioneer, suspected of selling intelligence on London's black market. The stolen data covers Western Allied operatives, MI5, MI6, FBI, CIA, and would devastate intelligence services if sold. Tom needs someone with a clean record. Roxanne vouches for Mike. Mike protests he's just a builder. Tom gives him the night to decide. Roxanne offers a ticket home, but Mike's feelings for her pull him back. He returns and volunteers. Tom briefs him. The briefcase will be auctioned. To join, they need one of 6 special devices. Because Mike has no record, he can move without scrutiny and buy a device. Training begins fighting, shooting, driving, and he picks it up fast. On mission day, Roxanne guides him remotely while Tom supplies cash and instructions. Mike arrives. A handler leads him to a restaurant, then leaves. Under the table, his phone rings. A woman tells him to take the money and go to the restroom. A tall man snatches the cash and leaves. The woman calmly explains the phone itself is the device. Elated, Mike steps outside, but a gunman levels a weapon. Roxanne shoots the attacker. Mike flees, is struck by a car, then rescued as Roxanne fires from an electric box. Union operatives join the firefight. Roxanne tells Mike to hide with the device. He slips into a building, stumbles into a theater, and slips out the back. Outside, a woman attacks him. They fight, tumble into a house, and his phone falls into a sink and drowns. The attacker chokes him until Roxanne bursts in. They battle. Roxanne kills the assailant by breaking her neck. They escape to the van, but the phone is waterlogged and useless. The mission failed. Suspicion spreads. Who tipped off the enemy? Some suspect a mole, but Tom asserts he trusts his team. He warns the device is scarce and coveted by many nations. Roxanne notes other agencies hold similar devices and they could track those. They regroup for a fresh plan. Morning intel locates another device at a secluded mansion in Hampstead. The team strikes, clearing enemies, but the device eludes them. As they prepare to leave, one agent bolts. Mike tackles him, knocks him down, and finds the device on him. Roxanne tries to contact the team. No response. Racing back to the van, she discovers a teammate's corpse and a photo of their base. Something dire is unfolding. She orders an evacuation, but a massive explosion hits headquarters moments later. Tom survives, they disperse and hide. Roxanne collapses in a hotel, grieving losses. Mike comforts her. Tom calls. The auction starts at 6 p.m. They must press on. The stolen device emits a traceable signal, but the auction must run long enough to pinpoint the seller. Mike frets over a $5 million entry fee. CIA patron William will bankroll it, but warns failure would doom the union. The online auction opens at $100 million and soars, pressuring their search. As bids climb past $350 million, Roxanne and Mike follow live locations by bike. The trace narrows to a souk. At $600 million, they storm the identified building and find Juliet at the bar running the auction. She halts the sale when confronted. Under pressure, she admits the data is in a lockbox in Holland Park. They take her to the site. She opens a refrigerator style safe, and Roxanne begins verifying the files. Juliet's calm unnerves them. A knock at the door reveals Nick alive. He explains he survived the bridge and has been tracking a mole within the Union, accusing Tom. He says the stolen records include Cold War era agent files and mission logs. Nick claims to be Roxanne's husband, shocking Mike. Nick urges handing the intel to the CIA. Roxanne, trusting him, decides to do so despite Mike's unease. She embraces Nick and they leave with Mike. On the road, Mike confronts her for hiding the truth. She says she thought Nick dead and recruited Mike for potential and a better life. Hurt, Mike storms off to think. He returns to the bridge, tells Roxanne he'll finish the mission before leaving. Nick calls and admits he double crossed them. He faked his death to steal the briefcase and, with Juliet's help, swapped it again. He intends to sell it to the Iranians, tired of loyalty without reward. He hangs up. CIA agents arrive to arrest Roxanne for betrayal. Thinking fast, she instructs Mike to follow her plan. They jump as a ship passes under the bridge. The CIA chases the ship by helicopter. Unaware, Roxanne and Mike jumped into the water and climbed back onto the bridge. Roxanne reveals she always suspected Nick and had secretly tracked him when she hugged him. She now has his location in Europe. They enlist Mike's friend Jerry at the airport and hide inside a cargo container. In Istria, Mike steals a car and tails Nick's signal. They spot Nick and Juliet meeting buyers. Roxanne creates a distraction. Mike snatches the intelligence box and speeds away on a bike. A frantic chase ensues as Nick's convoy and other attackers pursue. Roxanne turns on Nick, isolating him. Mike weaves through obstacles, climbs buildings, and clings to the box while Roxanne attempts to reach him. Nick captures Roxanne at one point and threatens Mike. Just then, a car barrels in. Roxanne breaks free and slips into an alley. Mike keeps going with the box. Nick steals a sports car and gives chase. Roxanne commandeers another vehicle and joins the pursuit. A bearded driver in a black car crashes into Mike, trapping him in the trunk while the thief grabs the box. Nick blocks the assailant as Roxanne closes in. The bearded man switches into a blue car and flees. Unaware, Mike is inside. Cars race through narrow lanes. Mike is battered in the trunk. He forces his way into the cabin, fights the driver, ejects him, and with Roxanne's car ramming for support, he seizes control. Nick knocks Roxanne off the road, but Mike continues the chase. Cars collide. Mike leaps free and survives. Roxanne reaches him, and they take a shortcut to the docks. Nick tries to flee with the box, but Roxanne corners him. He urges her to join him. She refuses and opens fire until he dies. With Nick down, they recover the briefcase and complete the mission. Mike returns to his old life, attend a friend's wedding where Roxanne joins him. They share happiness and mutual feelings. Tom appears with a new mission offer, but they choose a short vacation first.